ultimately, we do conclude this year's WNBA Finals. Final score is 67 New York Liberty, 62 Minnesota Lynx, guys. Again, in this game, we saw different players step up just about every game this series, right? In game 1, we saw Courtney Williams step up big time, hit some big buckets, winning in overtime. We saw in game 2, we saw Benijah Laney Hamilton have a phenomenal game. And the New York Liberty end up pretty easily winning in that game, right? Game 1, it was a 2-point game, right? The New York Liberty lost 93-95, right? Game 2, Benijah absolutely goes off. And the New York Liberty win pretty easily. They win pretty easily, winning 80-66. So 14-point game in that one. We go to game 3. Game 3, where it was close. It was close throughout. It was all tied up with barely any time left. Brianna Stewart has a phenomenal game that game. Ball goes to Sabrina Ionescu for a last second shot. Sabrina hits a crazy bomb from the 3-point line, scores. The New York Liberty end up winning game 3, a game that Minnesota looked really good in. They won game 3 by 3 points by that bomb of a 3-point shot by Sabrina Ionescu, 80-77. Then we go to game 4. Game 4 in Minnesota. Minnesota plays a back and forth game with the New York Liberty. It's a battle throughout. And ultimately, we see Bridget Carlton get the rebound, go for the putback, get fouled, and she makes both free throws, giving the Minnesota Lynx a 2-point lead and basically sealing the game with a W. So now we're all tied up. Series tied up 2-2. 2-2. Who is going to show up and show out in game 5? And we see one of the wildest final series that we have ever seen come to a close. Guys, the final score was 67-62 in overtime, might I add. This was the wildest, one of the most low-scoring, also, games ever. We see, a thing to note, guys, is we see people who usually don't get playing time, and we see people step up. Number one in this game, it was the fact that the coaching staff for the New York Liberty switched it up. They switched up in the first half. You know, we largely saw the Minnesota Lynx kind of give it to they kind of gave it to the New York Liberty to start this game, right? Start off the game. The Liberty can't score. You know, it takes them a while to even score to start the game, right? We end the first quarter, 19 Minnesota, 10 New York Liberty, right? We go into the second quarter. New York is kind of starting to get it together a little bit, right? They're kind of starting to get it together, but it's still not looking that great. The Liberty still can't really hit any outside shots, but they do get in the paint and they do score. So that's good. But in the last, I would say, probably minute or so in the second quarter is what really changed the game around for. It really did change the game around for the New York Liberty. Actually, I would say probably 2 minutes left to go in that game because in the second quarter, because we saw the Minnesota Lynx still with a pretty sizable lead, right? They were winning at this point with 2 minutes left to go. They were winning 32-22. The Lynx were, and then we see what we saw a lot of times in that first half. The New York Liberty missed. They kept missing shots, but Brianna Stewart who just really couldn't get anything going, she started to get mad. And so what does she do? What does a mad Breanna Stewart start to do? She starts to get rebounds. So Breanna Stewart gets 2 straight rebounds. She ended up Leonie Fibich, she misses a 3-pointer. Breanna Stewart gets the rebound. She starts to get a putback. Starts to get a putback jumper. She misses the shot, gets her own rebound again, and then gets fouled. Goes to the line. She misses the first free throw, makes the second free throw. That's a small thing, guys. That's a small thing, sort of getting 2 back-to-back rebounds, 1 off of your own miss. But that was a huge momentum shift in the game. That was a huge momentum shift. You take that, and Breanna Stewart's fired up. You know, she's like, hey, I didn't make the shot, but I got fouled, and let's get it together. Let's get it together. And then on the opposite, they go on the opposite end. Minnesota scores, come back on offense for the Liberty. Once again, the New York Liberty miss. Right, this time Sabrina was getting into the lane. She misses the layup. Breanna Stewart gets the offensive rebound again. Again, still like building that energy, that excitement. Like, let's go. Let's get these rebounds. Let's hustle. Even if we're not gonna make our shots, I'm a rebound. And that's what she did. And that sort of helped to build this thing. Well, after that happens, guys, the Minnesota Lynx don't score for the rest of the quarter. And the Liberty do. That's how we end the first half. And the way we ended this first half is how we started the second half, because we saw something special. One of the things that the Liberty have against the Minnesota Lynx is that they have height. Okay? They have height. And finally, Sandy Brondello decided to use her height to her advantage. And the way she did that was through huge, like, key players, right? Of course, you have Jonquel Jones, Finals MVP. Shout out to her. We're gonna talk about more about how she was a huge X factor, not only in this game but in the series. There was a decision that Sandy Brondello made. The decision that she made was, we're gonna go big. We are going to go big in this game, and that's how we're gonna win. All right, we're gonna win by going big. And of course, Breanna Stewart, 6'4", right? So you got her. You got Jonquel Jones, 6'6". They're usually in the game all the time together. But also, here's what Sandy Brondello did in the third quarter. She decides to give Niara Sabally some minutes, and not just give her some minutes to give Jonquel a blow. Like, Jonquel, you tired? Okay, go to the bench real quick. Niara Sabally, come in real quick and get your 2 to 3 minutes in this game. Nah, that's not what happened. Sandy Brondello puts Breanna Stewart, Jonquel Jones, Niara Sabally in a lineup together. And also, you add in Kayla Thornton in there. At one point, we saw Jonquel at the 5, or Niara Sabally at the 4, Breanna Stewart at the 3, Kayla Thornton at the 4, at the 2, and Sabrina Ionescu at the 1. Talk about height, guys. That's 6'1", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", and the shorty in that lineup was Sabrina Ionescu at 5'11". Talk about an advantage, right? Talk about a rebounding advantage. Even though overall the Liberty, they're not shooting lights out. They're not shooting that great, right? They finished the game only shooting 30%. But what does all that height give you? That height gives you the ability to rebound at a very high clip. Guys, in this game, the Minnesota Lynx only get 4 offensive rebounds. Only get 4. They finished the game with 33 rebounds total, and the New York Liberty has 44. Huge. That height makes a gigantic difference. Because, guys, the Minnesota Lynx are short. They are very short. They are very, very, very short. Their tallest players are Dorka Juhas, who's 6'5", who's not a starter, and Alana Smith at 6'4". Their best player, Nafisa Collier, who's a post player, is 6'1". Okay? Bridget Carlton, 6'1". Courtney Williams, 5'8". Kaylin Brad, 5'11". We saw a very, very short team go up against a tall team who actually used all their height to their advantage. And what did that give them? That gave them Niara Sabally scoring the basketball. That's what it gave them. Niara Sabally had a fantastic game. Y'all want to know a little stat? You want to know a little stat? Did you know Niara Sabally? She finishes this game playing 17 minutes off the bench. All right, 17 minutes. This, if we look at games 1 through 4, for Niara Sabally, she averaged 9 minutes in games 1 through 4. All right, 9 minutes. Today, she had played 17 minutes. In game 1 through 4, she averaged 2.8 points a game. Today, she had 13 points off the bench. 13 points. If MVPs were based off of game 5, the game 5 MVP is Niara Sabally. Yes. In my mind, yes. Niara Sabally is the player of today's game. She is. She absolutely is. Because not only does Niara play offense, not only did she get lots of layups and lots of shots at the basket, and whatnot. Not only did she do that, she also played really, really good defense, guys. Niara Sabally finished the game 13 points, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. She was huge in this game. And again, as I have been saying all finals. I've been saying this all finals. Niara Sabally is really, really good. Niara Sabally, when she comes in the game, she changes the atmosphere for her team. Niara Sabally is way better than the box score shows. I've been saying this all finals. I think I've been saying it all playoffs. I haven't talked as much about the New York Liberty during the regular season as I probably should have. But I probably have also talked about her during the regular season. Like, it's her ability to just shift the atmosphere. Is she perfect? No, she's not. Which is why she doesn't play a ton. But when Sandy Brondello is like, girl, get in the game and let's see what you can do. She makes a difference. She makes an impact. She hustles. She's hungry for it. It's very clear that Niara Sabally is not just a player who just comes comes in the game and like, oh, okay, let me give y'all my 5 minutes or whatever while Jonquel gets a break. No. Niara has dealt with a lot of injuries. She dealt with injuries at Oregon. She's dealt with injuries with the Liberty. But she has a hustle factor that just doesn't quit. And it's great to see. So I'm just saying, huge shout out to Niara Sabally. If it was an MVP for this one game in particular, yes, I am absolutely going with Niara Sabally. Now, the MVP of the series, Love My Three Babe says, you have been saying this all year. Okay, I have been. Okay. Yeah, she's So I make so many videos. Sometimes I can't remember exactly what I said to my mom and what I said to y'all on the internet. But anyway, yeah, Niara's she's been doing it, and it's just a difference. It's just a difference, guys. It's just a huge difference. Kayla Thornton also, I thought, gave really good minutes as well. Kayla Thornton plays 21 minutes. Yes, Kayla only ends up with 2 points, however, and 5 fouls. But I tell you this, Kayla Thornton had way more than 5 fouls in real life. If you actually looked at all the fouls that Kayla Thornton had, she probably had like I don't know, 7 fouls in this game. But Kayla Thornton, what she does on a defensive end is huge. Absolutely huge for this team. And again, another player that I believe played way better than her box score shows. Yes, Kayla Thornton, 2 points, 0 for 3 from the 3-point line, right? Only 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, 5 fouls. Okay, you look at that, and you're like, man, she played terrible. No, she didn't. Which is why I always tell y'all, don't just look at the box score. Don't look at the box score. Sure, look at it, but don't let that determine whether or not you think a player played well or not. Remember, it's the game and everything that happens cannot always be translated to a box score. The way that Kayla Thornton was all up in Minnesota when it came to defense. All right? That girl was everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I thought that she gave really good minutes on defense. On offense, yes, her shot was not falling, but she was not a liability at all because I thought she got some pretty good looks. I'm just saying. Kayla Thornton. Fire. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I get my names mixed up. Like, I say I'm thinking about Kayla Thornton, but I say Kayla McBride, and I think about Courtney Vandersloot, and I say Courtney Williams. So yeah, defensively, Kayla Thornton was fan-freaking-tastic in that second half. Fantastic. Why does Minnesota go on a scoring drought in the third quarter? Why do they barely score? Only score 2 points in overtime? Defense. And Kayla Thornton was a huge factor in the way that the New York Liberty played defense. Just saying. Also, Leonie Fibich, I thought all year, Leonie Fibich has been a huge player that I have enjoyed quite a bit. Leonie Fibich is a player who can kind of do a little bit of everything, guys. She can shoot. She can shoot from the 3. She can get inside a little bit if she wants to. She can score just about every way. She's also very tall, and she also can play defense. So you have a 6'4". Basically, she plays like a shooting guard role. You have a 6'4" shooting guard. It's dangerous, guys. It's dangerous. Just saying. She had 13 points in today's game. She 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, just 1 turnover and 3 fouls. She's just another player who can just score. This is a team that their stars, Sabrina and Stewie, they had a bad game. And it was about everybody else stepping up and covering for their stars. All right? That's what happened today. And I saved the best for last because I want to talk about Jonquel Jones, guys. I want to talk about Jonquel Jones because Jonquel is a player that I think a lot of people, a good amount of women's basketball fans, right? WNBA fans, a good amount of them don't know who Jonquel Jones is. this is a player that has been a huge player in the WNBA for a while, right? Did you know that that Jonquel Jones actually won an MVP award? Did you know that? Right? This is a player who, when you think about it, she's kind of done a little bit of everything, right? She won the MVP. She was a Sixth Woman of the Year award, winner before. She won the Most Improved award, right? She played for years with the Connecticut Sun. You all remember it was Brianna Jones, Jonquel Jones, and Alyssa Thomas that were wreaking havoc in Connecticut. They're wreaking havoc. This is a player who has been great, but she's pretty quiet, kind of. She's not really talking like that. She's not like seeking a lot of attention, right? And so it seems like a lot of times people kind of ignore her, right? But you shouldn't. You absolutely shouldn't. She came to the WNBA in 2016, and she started off with the Connecticut Sun, and she was pretty decent, right? Pretty decent rookie in the WNBA. She then goes into her second year in the WNBA in 2017, and she goes off. Absolutely off, guys, in 2017. Wins the Most Improved Player of the Year award. She gets 5 votes for MVP. And the way she did that was being a beast down low, averaging 15.4 points a game as a second-year player in the WNBA. And also, she averaged a double-double that season too. Just saying. We look at Jonquel Jones and her career. Again, second year in a W, winning Most Improved Player, right? Third year in the W. She is coming off the bench, largely, for the Connecticut Sun. Her minutes go down, her points go down, but her impact is still huge. That year, in her third year in the WNBA, she wins Sixth Player of the Year award. All right. And then we continue to see her play and play and play and play. And 2 years later, she's winning the MVP for the WNBA. In 2021, she wins the MVP. Averaging that year 19.4 points a game and 11.2 rebounds. Jonquel Jones is a star. She is a phenomenal player who not only can bang down low, she can shoot threes if she wants to, right? Jonquel Jones is one of those types of players who, if she wants to, could be absolutely dominant if she wants to. And she made the decision after being with Connecticut for years. She made the decision to leave Connecticut and join a super team, right? So it was her, it was Courtney Vandersloot, it was Brianna Stewart, who all left their respective teams and in 2023 decided to go to the New York Liberty. That year, Jonquel, takes a back seat. She takes the back seat to Stewie and to Sloot, right? And so her numbers dramatically go down, right? She's not scoring as much. She doesn't have to rebound as much, right? But she's still impactful, right? Then we go to this year. Last year, of course, they don't win the finals, but we go to this year. And this year, yes, wow, absolutely the best players on this team. In the first half of the year was Sabrina Ionescu. Second half of the year was Brianna Stewart. when it came down to the finals, Jonquel Jones was the woman in the middle that they needed, because Nafisa Collier could shut down Brianna Stewart. And she largely did, right? Brianna Stewart didn't score a lot of points today. We've seen there was really one game where Brianna Stewart had 30 points in this finals. Other than that, like, Brianna Stewart wasn't really doing like crazy stuff, because you had Nafisa Collier to kind of tamp that down. And for like Sabrina Ionescu, she was just kind of struggling throughout the entire series, except for, of course, when she hit that big bucket in game 3. But largely, the Stars, they were neutralized in a lot of ways due to the defense of the Minnesota Lynx. But all series, the Minnesota Lynx have not been able to stop Jonquel Jones. And we've seen it in the first several games. We saw it today, where when you give the ball to Jonquel Jones, no one can stop her. No one. Okay? No one can stop what she can do on the court. Because she's so tall, she's so physical, that you just, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. And I have to say, guys, I thought Jonquel Jones winning that MVP award, I really do think it was well deserved. I really do. She had 17 points in Game 5, but it wasn't just what Jonquel did in Game 5, right? Let's go through the finals. Let's go through the finals and let's talk about it, right? So in Game 5, 17 points, 6 rebounds, right? Shooting 50% from the field. Game 4, 21 points, 8 rebounds, shooting 70% from the field. Extremely efficient, right? Game 3, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 50% from the field. Game 2, 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 42% from the field. So not as good, but, good. And Game 1, 24 points, 10 rebounds, shooting 64% from the field. Jonquel Jones has been a key player for the New York Liberty, and she really has been in large effects a cheat code for this team. You give the ball to Jonquel Jones, they're either fouling her or she's going to try, or she has a good opportunity to score. And it was something that you can't really stop it. So, I thought it was a well-deserved MVP. I thought that Jonquel really was an X factor for this team. Really was. And is a huge reason as to why they have even won this championship. Yes, Brianna Stewart, yes, while her shot wasn't falling, she did make an impact in other ways, especially today, especially on that rebounding front. And yes, Leonie Febish has a great finals series. Like I thought she was fantastic as well. Saab with the huge bucket for Game 3 and whatnot. Like, it's cool to see. The New York Liberty, hey, they make it happen, Captain, and they win the WNBA championship for the first time in team history, guys. For the first time in team history, guys. I love to see it. I love to see this happen, guys. The New York Liberty have made it to the finals 5 times before this year. Before this year, 5 times made it to the finals. Lost all 5. There have been legends that have walked. They have played for the New York Liberty. They've had great teams. Never won a championship. Hey, you know what they say? 6 times the charm, right? Did they say that? Is that a thing? Not really, but for the New York Liberty, 6 time is a charm. Okay. They absolutely made it happen, and shout out to them. Shout out to them for getting it done. For getting it done. The Minnesota Lynx play a great game. Play a really good game. They were leading early. Yes, there were some foul calls that did not go their way, right? There's some foul calls that did not go the Minnesota Lynx way. And yes, there was one foul that I thought was not a foul at all, right? I don't think it was a foul. But at the end of the day, you can't blame the refs for losing. You can, and yes, the refs have to do better. Yes, I believe that the refs were messed up in some of the calls they were making, but at the end of the day, if you on the court, you got to stop complaining and you got to play. Peep game. Peep what the refs are trying to do and move accordingly. Don't let them frustrate you. Don't let them get under your skin. Play your game. Okay? Play your game. DeJour, thank you so much for the super chat. DeJour says, Liberty bench won that game. Sabrina was 2 of 19. Stewie was just bad. This is what happens when you feel pain. Come together and win. Lynx will be back. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. The bench made it happen. They did. DeJour says Lynx was up 15 points and still lost it. It wasn't the refs. Stop saying we were gifted a championship by the refs. We overcame a 15 point hole. New York won it. DeJour, New York did get some favorable calls. They did. New York got some favorable calls, and it was messed up. It was absolutely messed up. But at the end of the day, the Minnesota Lynx had opportunities to still win this game. They had opportunities to still win this game, even though most of the calls benefited New York. It did. And Sue Blau, the head of officials for the WNBA, she need to be talking to this coach, to this referee staff, because it was atrocious, some of the calls that were made for one team and not the other. However, all of that being said, Minnesota still had a chance to win. And they didn't. Okay? And they didn't. So, it is what it is. One team has to win. Peep game, move accordingly. Nafisa Collier misses a layup, which I do think she was fouled on by Brandon Stewart. She misses though. She had it. There were missed shots, makeable shots that the Minnesota Lynx just missed. Shots at the rim that they just missed. You could have won the game. You had opportunities, guys. You had opportunities and you squandered it. Yes, the refs were messed up. Yes, that's a thing. However, you still had a chance. Even with all that being said, you still had a chance. So, I'm just saying. CAC says, agreed, Quita, the refs impacted the game, which is horrible, but the Lynx could have won it multiple times in multiple games. Facts. Yeah. Even in game 3. When Sabrina Ionescu hit that crazy 3-point shot, the Minnesota Lynx could have won it before that. Right? They could have put the game away a couple minutes before, but they didn't. So you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, the refs are problematic. Yes, they heavily favored New York, and yes, still Minnesota could have won that game. Absolutely, they had chances. Absolutely did. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. That's my thoughts on that. Manda says Atlanta getting injured was really bad for the Lynx. That woman has so much heart. Yeah, Alana Smith, she got hurt in game 3 by Jonquel Jones. She tried to play through the pain in game 3. Ended up having to get out the game, and she played in game 4. We saw her grimace. We saw her in pain running, and she didn't. She still hustled through it. She still hustled through the pain. And then in game 5, she's trying. You could tell Alana Smith was not her normal self, right? You could tell that her movements was not her normal movements. But she still kept playing. She still kept hustling. She ended up getting going down again. Literal tears in her eyes. And she came back in the game. And she tried to finish out the game. Alana Smith, like many other WNBA players, are warriors. They go through a lot of issues. A lot of issues. And we just saw, Atlanta go through all that, and she still played. Yes, her team lost, but she gave it all she had. That's all you can ask for. That is all that you can ask for. DeJour says, you can't blame the refs for fumbling a 15-point lead. Well, that's facts. That's facts. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, like, yeah, the refs are bad. And yet still, the Minnesota Lynx could have won. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Thank you. Yeah, what a game. What a game. What a game, guys. Final score. New York Liberty 67, Minnesota Lynx 62. The New York Liberty have finally won their first WNBA championship after losing in the finals 5 times. 6 times a charm. She made it happen. They all made it happen. Shout out to Sandy Brondello for changing the scheme, changing the personnel on the court in the third quarter, and really did open up the floodgates for this game. That was absolutely huge. So yeah. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. De Jour is on a roll. De Jour says, I'm hitting the streets. New York City of champions. I'll holla. I'll see you in college basketball season. De Jour, are you watching the Yankees play? Yankees in the World Series, y'all. Yankees in the World Series. Dodgers was playing Mets earlier. I think the Dodgers won. I would have been watching the game if I hadn't been doing this live stream. Is the game over? Oh yeah. Okay, the Dodgers did win. Okay. So we got New York Yankees versus the LA Dodgers in the World Series. Let's go. I'm excited about that, guys. I'm excited. So yeah, guys. Yeah. So shout out to the people. Shout out to the people in New York. New York, y'all better be lit, man. New York better be lit because y'all have baseball. That's has a chance. Though Dodgers winning. I'm rooting for the Dodgers. I'm just saying. That's I love me some White Sox, even though we suck. But I also am a huge Shohei Ohtani fan. Okay, so shout out to the Dodgers, man. So Dodgers all day. That's what I'm rooting for, and I'm watching all them games too. Y'all better get in some baseball. I'm just saying, get into some baseball and watch the datacast. Watch the datacast for the baseball games. All right, watch those because it's actually really cool to really see all the pitches and it's really cool. Anyway, Anyway, guys, a thing to know about this channel. Yes, I'm gonna wrap up the WNBA season. I'm gonna wrap up with lots of videos, just sort of recapping the season that was and all that good stuff. But a couple of updates for the channel. I will be like 50% or maybe 60% changing all the content out from being primarily WNBA based to being primarily women's college basketball based. All right. So if y'all love women's college basketball, I'm about to go crazy. I'm about to go ham on lots and lots of women's college basketball videos. The season starts next month in like 2 weeks. And so I have a lot of videos around that. We're going to take a look at all the main the main teams that you all need to be watching out for. So I have that coming. Those videos coming. Also, European basketball is going, right? Euro Cup and Euro League. I'm gonna have videos talking about those teams and what's happening on that front. What WNBA stars are doing, what they're doing. My favorite team overseas is I always say Besiktas, but that's not how to pronounce it. That's Beskitas. I think that's how you actually pronounce it. That is the team that Dana Evans and Timmy Fag-Binley play on. That is my favorite European team. I would say that one and Fenerbahce. Those are my favorite teams. I will be covering those teams and I'll try to get to as many other teams as possible. But those two will probably be the main ones I'll cover, mainly because I can't watch all of it and watch all of college basketball. So yeah. That's that. Also, guys, I just got this game, so I will be making videos around 2K. So, guys, what I want to do right now, I am going to be. My goal is to play GM and coach and recreate. We're gonna go through this year's WNBA season with the Chicago Sky, and I'm gonna do like. If we could do it all over again, let's see if we can get the Chicago Sky to the playoffs. All right. So I'm gonna recreate Angel Reese's and Camila Cardoso's rookie season. I'm also going to be recreating Caitlin Clark's rookie season. All right. So that's coming up. I will be making those videos. So yeah, get excited for that. We do have some 2K content coming to the channel. So that's kind of the thing, right? So 50 to 60% of the content going forward will be women's college basketball specific. I will also have content around women's European basketball, women's Chinese league basketball, and women's Australian league basketball. All right. And then to wrap it all up in a bow, we'll have some fun with 2K content. All right. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Again, guys, we have made it through 2 full WNBA seasons on this channel. 2 full WNBA seasons. Like what? Guys, I'm so ecstatic. Again, we started this channel really in March of 2023. Made it through the whole 2023 WNBA season. Now 2024. Two WNBA seasons of this channel. I can't believe it. And I'm about to head into my second full year of covering women's college basketball. So I'm excited about it, guys. I hope y'all are too. This channel has like been beyond my belief, like what has happened on this channel. And I'm very grateful. I thank you so much. Yeah, continue to let me know what y'all like. Let me know what y'all don't like. My goal is to stay me, right? To stay this weird person who is obsessive about sports, primarily women's basketball, right? I am a nobody trying to tell everybody about the awesomeness of women's basketball. I don't know any players. I don't know anybody important at all. Couldn't even, the Chicago Sky even ghosted me, right? Like, I don't know anybody. I just love the game. I just love to talk about it. And so the fact that y'all are rocking with me, I appreciate it. Yeah. Have a good night, guys. Be kind to people. Be respectful to others. Shout out to the Liberty fans. All y'all Liberty fans. Shout out to y'all. Put a Statue of Liberty in the chat. If you are excited about what happened tonight with the New York Liberty winning. Shout out to y'all. Y'all rolled for y'all team for years. Y'all team has finally rewarded y'all with a WNBA championship. I mean, the Minnesota Lynx, they've already won 4 times before, so that's a thing. Of course they wanted to win again, but it's always cool. It's always cool to see someone win their first, and this was the first for the New York Liberty. So, yeah. Bobby says, Quita, the most important person to ever walk the earth. Facts on facts on facts on facts on facts. And guys, if y'all are like, wait, who is this person? Who is the most important person to ever walk the earth? Well, it is the man who lived, died for us, and rose again. His name is Jesus, and literally is the most important person to ever walk the face of the earth. The man who was fully God, fully man, all at the same time. Lived a life that we could not live, and died a death that we deserve. His name is Jesus, and if you don't know him, I pray that you get to know him very soon, because he is the best thing to ever happen to this world. Guys, have a great day. Have a great night. Again, be kind. I love y'all. I really do. I actually really do mean it. You all are fantastic. And I want you to know that you matter. You are important. And yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to y'all very, very soon. Guys, Unrivaled. Yes, Jonathan, you put it in the chat and it made me think. Yes, I didn't talk about Unrivaled. I will be covering Unrivaled. I will be covering Unrivaled, and I will be talking about Athletes Unlimited as well. I did not cover Athletes Unlimited last year because I was just a little bit too busy. I will be covering Athletes Unlimited and Unrivaled this year. So look out for that. Okay, until next time. Love y'all. Talk to y'all tomorrow. I will try my best to get a Women's Basketball Weekly out tomorrow. I will try my best. Fingers crossed. All right, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. See y'all.